It is my pleasure, my honor. I'm humbled as can be to be here. Um, when I was asked to speak today, it was nerve wracking in the sense of I see this. I see all the people who have been here, all the people who have doctorate degrees, who do all these amazing things that I can never hope to be. And so I'm honored to be here and to be your keynote speaker. I have a speech. I'm going to try to keep to it. I realize that I'm between lunch and the rest of the day, and so I will try to keep this as brief as possible. I want to thank all the organizers for this event. Um, I can tell you is I look around and I'm super proud of how things have been put together. Um, I'm super proud to know that it's Hmong people that put this together. I'm super proud to know that everybody here is a supporter of the Hmong community. I'm super proud to know that no matter what, no matter how hot it is, people will stay here and enjoy the day with us. So a couple people I want to thank is our Hmong American veterans. For those of you who fought, my dad, my father was a Hmong American veteran. And so I recognize how important it is to thank them for what they've done for our country, what they've done for our people, and what they represent for us going forward into the future. I want to thank our parents. I can tell you day in and day out, I can't be where I am today without my parents. I couldn't be where I am without them making the decisions they made. But let me stop there and say, I also want to say is Hmong 50 and Merced means the world to me. Seeing all the updates online, all the stuff that's happening is just amazing what has come to fruition today. I also take a moment and say thank you to the country we all live in today, the United States of America, for all the opportunities that it's provided us, from education to health to prosperity to the ability to travel and be free. Freedom is absolutely important to the rest of us who didn't realize what it was until we came here. So I want to take a moment also and thank our city, county, state, and federally elected officials who came to join us today. I want to thank all my friends, and I say friends, it's family. Every one of you is family and friends. When I was asked to speak today, again, how do I make a speech that represents all this? How do I make a speech that represents all that was up here talking? I can't compete against that, and nor do I want to, right? I didn't feel that I could come up with a speech that would symbolize and do justice to all that we've accomplished, the triumphs, the accomplishments, and the struggles we've overcome. A speech that speaks about the drive and the shared determination of our people to start from absolutely nothing, arriving in this country with just the clothes on our back, with the shoes on our feet, getting off the plane and figuring out what in the world we're going to do, and coming across and turning nothing into this. I didn't feel I could speak or provide a speech that was appropriate enough to celebrate the accomplishments and the achievements of our people, who upon arriving took a deep breath and said, it's time to start the next stage in our life. Today, we have business owners, we have teachers, and I'm going to go through the list because it matters. We have doctors, pharmacists, we have lawyers, judges, police officers, firefighters, engineers, superintendent of schools. I know of two, super proud. State elected officials, directors, managers, supervisors. We have community leaders, local, state, and city elected officials. We even have a world-class Olympian as a Hmong, as part of our Hmong people. Super proud. In 50 years, Hmong people made that happen. 50 years. That's less than one lifetime. That happened in one generation. One generation. We went from arriving on an airplane on a new land, not knowing exactly what to do. In 50 years, the accomplishments we've made as a people. All I can say is, wow, how far we have come as a people, and how far will we go? I'm going to share a couple of things with you about my experiences. I'm going to share a couple of things with you about things that I have come across, and many of these experiences I'm sure you can relate to. But please forgive me if I kind of cry a little bit, but these experiences are things that make me Hmong, and as I said, these are experiences that I'm sure you can all relate to. Today, I reflect back on being Hmong, and I think about all my experiences, and I realize they have defined me, made me who I am. I realize that they have defined me and made me the parent, the son, and the person who I'm going to be going forward to my family and my kids. The experience of being poor, arriving here in the United States, being poor and not realizing it. The experience of having your family have a family garden, having your family part of a community garden, not because it was a business, but because it was necessary to provide food for your family at the table. The experience of not having a vehicle to take your laundry to the laundromat, and having to carry it a quarter mile to do laundry and bring it back to hang it up to dry. The experience of working in the strawberry fields. The supervisor mentioned, or the mayor earlier mentioned about working in the strawberry fields, right? I remember getting that red thumb from my thumb soaking so much in strawberries from picking the pick out, right? Being embarrassed at school, hiding it from my classmates. I remember that, and that makes me remember that I have come a long way, and it's my job to make sure that I represent my people, I represent my family, my kids, and that I teach them and I push them. I remember the experience of filling out forms in school. Heck, I still experience those same things today. And looking down, not seeing anywhere where there's a box that says Hmong. Not on a state form, not on a school form, not on a DMV form, and wondering, where do I fit? Imagine that. The experience of being a child interpreter, having to speak and interpret for your parents. The experience of interpreting at your own parent-teacher conference for your parents. I've been through that. The experience of having to translate for your elders when no one else is there. The experience of being an interpreter, not because we wanted as children to be interpreters. The experience of doing that because we were the only bridge between English and Hmong for our elders. The experience of living two lives, one in school where I spoke Hmong. No, I spoke English at school, right? English is taught at school. Hmong wasn't taught at school. Where I spoke English at school, ate pizza, ran around with other kids. And where I got home, I spoke Hmong. Was told by my mom, go make rice. Go make sure there's food ready. Go do this, go do that. It's a child of two worlds. A child living, trying to figure out exactly where I fit in. Yes, so many of us are children of two worlds. We are. Right? We're that first generation, that first newcomer generation. Many of us have walked this path, the struggle, from the first year to the 50th year here, many of us have done really well doing so. Other of us have had a couple of bumps, and there's so many of us that are still walking through that struggle. But it is 50 years, and look what we have accomplished. My family, I arrived in the United States when I was 4 in Portland, Oregon. I don't remember very much of it, other than that we moved twice, and then we moved to Merced, and Merced is home. Our family of many crammed into a 2-room studio on 2nd Street in Merced. If you don't know what 2nd Street it is on the other side of town, right? On 2nd Street, we lived there not because of anything other than because it felt safe. It felt safe because there were Hmong people living there, there were Min people living there, there were Lao people living there, there were people who looked like us living there, and that made it safe. That made it feel safe because my parents spoke the language. I attended public school in Merced, and while in high school, I came across this organization called the Merced County Sheriff's Explorer Program. It wasn't quite exactly what I thought it was, because I thought it was going to be just another club. But lo and behold, when I joined, it opened me to another world. Up till then, my world was home and school, school and home, and an occasional visit to the relatives when we had an opportunity. But the Explorers Program allowed me to see that my world and the world was bigger than just my home and my relatives and my school. It allowed me to see the world how the rest of the world saw itself, right? It gave me experiences, it took me places, it taught me this wonderful thing called public service. And public service is where I gravitated to. I enjoy the interaction with people. I enjoy the interaction with complete strangers. I enjoy the ability to help somebody in need. With that, I excelled in the Explore program. I excelled because my parents supported me. I excelled in it because public service I felt was my calling. But even as I was excelling in the Explorer program, I had people who didn't believe that a Hmong person belonged in law enforcement. I heard sayings such as, you're not big enough, you're Asian, you're too skinny. I'm no longer skinny. You're not strong enough, you're too short. These comments were from people all around me, including other Hmong people, my family. I heard that from my family too, right? But again, I loved public service. I felt that calling, but maybe it was in another field. I attended Merced College, and my first year there, I thought maybe I would go into the medical field. I didn't like the medical field. I didn't like all the stuff that happened. I didn't like working with sick people. So I went back to what I fell in love with, which was public service. I continued my education at CSU Stanislaus, where I got my bachelor's degree and master's degree. As many of you know, education is the pathway for our people, has been the pathway for our people to step up and step out. And that is an opportunity the United States of America has provided us. I attended college and CSU Stanislaus. I graduated, but I did all this and I was successful because I had the support of my parents. But as a first comer, first generation Hmong person in college, I knew that the funding college was on me. I knew that I had to find the scholarships, the grants. I had to find the work to make it happen for myself. I share this with you because it's possible to go to college regardless of your background. So after finishing college and the police academy, I officially became a police officer in 2000. First as a deputy sheriff, as a deputy probation officer, then as a deputy sheriff, and then a police officer for the UC Merced Police Department, where I excelled and continued to grow. I was a sergeant in 2007. I became a sergeant in 2008. I became a lieutenant in 2011, and so on and so on. Today, as the MC has shared, I hold the rank of police chief. I hold the position of assistant vice chancellor for public safety. But one thing I was hoping he would read is that my most important title that I have is dad. My most important title I have is parent, because it is my job to teach my family what it means to be Hmong. It is my job and my responsibility to take them to these events like this, to New Year's, to all these events that allow them to have culture and see that the world is bigger, that there are other Hmong people who love the interaction with you. I share this because opportunities are possible. It is possible to achieve your dreams. It's possible to the things that many people say it's not possible. Believe in yourself. Believe in hard work. Believe that education is one of the major tools for us to move forward. Believe in the strength. Believe in everything. Believe that being Hmong, you are stronger. Believe that you are Hmong and you can accomplish those things. I share with you that it is your responsibility. I share with you that it is your opportunity to be part of that leadership circle, wherever it is you work at, wherever it is that you hang out at. It is possible for you to be part of that leadership circle. You need to understand and see that you have the capabilities, that you have the skills, that you are able to be a director, a manager. As I share with you, it is okay to work hard. It is okay to be a business owner, because we have them, a doctor, a pharmacist, and so on and so on. We've come so far in 50 years. 50 years, we've come a long ways. Sorry, my papers are all on everywhere. But I caution you that getting there in 50 years, when you think you've reached it and you've gotten it, be careful, be cautious, be understanding that it is your responsibility to keep fighting, keep proving, keep working, because you're not done. You represent an entire people whose job, whose role it is to grow and be better. Understand that you are the first to be a pharmacist, the first to be an engineer, the first to be an elected official, the first to be everything. And there will be challenges from people who may not believe that you belong there. You belong there. I'm going to tell you, as you belong there, you worked hard, you've put in the hours, the study, you're committed, right? You're absolutely responsible, and you deserve to be there amongst the leadership circle in the places you work, the places you frequent. Don't let that dissuade you. To the folks who are naysayers, don't let it dissuade you. Don't let those things stop you from competing against other people in your workplace, your peers. It's your job to reach in those areas and be the next director, and be the next superintendent, and be the next doctor, and be the next police officer, police chief, police engineer. We as Hmong people have a long history of achieving things when somebody says no. We as Hmong people have this ability to say, yes, we can. Right? We do work hard. despite the barriers of language, despite the barriers of not having something handed to us, right? Despite the barriers of learning and having to learn a new culture in the new land, we've achieved, we've thrived, we've done absolutely well. I want to share this is, it's been 50 years. Look what we've done. I'm extremely excited to see what the next 50 years will bring. Right? There will be chances for other achievements, chances for other accomplishments. I look forward to seeing what we will do in the next 50 years. I would never in my imagination would I have ever been a police chief, or would I would see superintendents, where I would see doctors, attorneys, and lawyers. But here we are today. We have them all amongst us. You should be proud of what you have accomplished. You should be proud of what we have accomplished as a Hmong people. That is the Hmong story, the story of resilience, the story of fighting, pushing, clawing. But we don't just do that alone. We pull others with us. We hope they go with us. And when they have stopped, we push them with us. So we are a community of Hmong people. Family is the thing that binds us. I'm going to close because I realize that, I'm between lunch. I want to say thank you to the Hmong 50th Anniversary Committee. I'm deeply honored to be asked to speak today. I'm deeply honored to be here amongst you, amongst my people, my family, my friends. I'm deeply honored to see a lot of my uncles and my family members and new friends that I've made today be here today. I want to thank the organizers for putting on this fantastic event. I'm going to tell you is when I first heard the idea, I was like, wow, what are we trying to accomplish? But look at this. This is just amazing, absolutely amazing. I want to thank my parents for making all those great decisions that allowed me to be here today. I would share a story with you, but I don't want to cry up here. It is a major decision that my parents made that allowed me to be here and allowed me to be successful, but I'm not going to because you're not here to see me cry. So I also want to say thank you to my wife and my kids. I know that I demand a lot. I know you put up with a lot, but my success is not possible without you. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you all very much.